Watch that new sailing event and react to it. Alright, send the link, bro. Send the link.
This is Mod Elena.
This is Mod Light.
This is Mod Surma.
This is Mod Nin. This is Mod Grub.
This is Mod Husky. Take one.
What is sailing?
Sailing is old school RuneScape's 24th new skill.
I'd say this is about the biggest and most ambitious project we've ever done.
There's going to be so much content that you can go and explore.
Oh my
so
god.
many new islands, and then what's the story on those islands?
You'll sail around and you'll find new Slayer monsters, find new hunting spots.
It's probably the biggest skill we've ever done, and probably one of the biggest projects we'll ever do.
This is crazy, bro. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this, bro.
How do you go about making the incredibly vast oceans feel alive?
A big goal for us with Sailing's development was to make the sea feel alive. Looking at the world map in the existing game, it's kind of like a big blue carpet. There's nothing going on there. So developing Sailing was really tricky in that regard because like we're used to the sort of content density on land. We know what that should feel like.
Okay, so this is my plan for release of Sailing. I'm immediately gonna get like 45 or 50 Slayer or Sailing, whatever it is, on a max pure. Then I'm gonna get the Slayer task that drops the new weapon. And then I'm gonna make a PKing video on that weapon. And then I'll go on to my main account, Vanc, which is like the little pure that I'm just making in my main. Then I'm gonna grind it on that account for like maybe a couple days. But I'm not gonna sweat it to 99 or anything like that. Like this, just maybe it's like 60 or 70. But I do want to make a video with the new weapon.
What that should feel like on the sea, because by nature the sea is quite vast. There's not that much going on out there. Trying to combine those two and like find a middle ground that works was quite an interesting design challenge.
The environment in a video game is an essential character. It itself is guiding you through the story, giving you a clue where to go next, giving you warnings about maybe some places you shouldn't go. How do you do that to the carpet? We have obviously the depth underneath you, the islands naturally. There's also the creatures that are there.
Oh, we're 5 days
the
away,
other
by the way.
ships sailing
5 days
around.
away.
The more we looked into it, the more we realized there is a tremendous amount of story that is actually asking already to be told in the ocean. So in attempt to make that carpet more interesting, what we've done is we started to bring out those stories.
I think we've ended up with a place where it's quite dense, like initially, in areas close to the shore. And then as you go deeper, there's just less going on, there's bigger distances. But it makes sense because at the point that you're there, your boats are also faster. So you get around a lot quicker. There's a few random bits and bobs out on the ocean. I would recommend just stopping by any island that you have access to. There's also these like random events that can happen when you're out sailing to just spice up those journeys from port to port.
Let's talk about exploration. Are players free to explore the ocean and all the new islands within Gielinor?
Yes, with an asterisk.
Players can explore most of the ocean. We've locked off some bits, so mainly to the east, so sort of south of Sophanum and east, and north of, I want to say, Wise and east, like west of Volumor and Corend as well.
But there are portions of the sea that are quite hazardous, require specific counters to avoid damage. That was just part of us trying to make the sea come to life and just sort of create an interesting environment to explore in. There's definitely different feels across the ocean. You know, when I go to the northern parts of the sea,
it might be some new runes coming into the game.
That's what it looks like. Right about there. So I would just say if a player is looking to be quite ambitious and you're a hardcore account, maybe just, you know, let someone else test the waters a little bit first.
Oh, we need PvP with this shit. Like, what's going on, man?
We want to know about level progression in sailing, from early to late game. So, give us your speed run level 1 to 99 guide immediately.
All right, well, level 1, you're going to start doing a quest called the Pandemonium. You start in Port Sarim. It takes you to the Pandemonium. It gives you a little raft, and then you can sail around on the raft. You're then going to do port tasks between Port Sarim and the Pandemonium, and then eventually Musa Point delivering cargo.
And then you also have something really exciting called bounty tasks, where you can use your ship to take down an enemy and then take those goods that you receive from the enemy back to a port. Once you hit level 15, you're going to want a small boat. It has some really cool facility slots that you can start to manage, so getting yourself your very own salvaging hook. And then you can also customize the
She's banging freeze frame, please.
sturdiness and the speed of your boat, things like your hull, your keels, your sails, etc.
For players
exactly,
who want a bit more of a
Lemon, that's
chill
what I'm
experience,
thinking.
there's some shipwreck salvaging, although I'm very aware that some of the more
sent through a few
skill-based
DMs,
skilling players might like to tick
So is
manipulate
this guy.
that. We've
This
seen
guy's
some
definitely sent
wonderful
through a few DMs
demonstrations
as
from
well.
the alpha and beta from Hibok Chong.
From that, you get some salvage that you can sort through to get loot, or you could just drop it if you're.
I'm
more
excited
interested in
too.
the XP
I'm
and the
100%
AFK elements
excited.
of it. There are quests on the way. I would suggest not doing them at the level that you unlock them. I think there's 4, maybe 5. So there's the intro quest that everyone needs to do to access sailing. There's the Troubled Tortugas quest as well that kind of unlocks the Great Conch area, which is the biggest island we're doing for
On
sailing.
PK
And then there's
PvP
a
World
few
Day 1
smaller
sailing,
quests
always
here and
fun.
there.
You think
I
it'd
won't
be people
spoil
in
too much,
PvP
but I
worlds?
believe
Probably,
there's
right?
another 2 quests. So let's
have
go
the
with
Gryphon
4.
pet, it's
It's
too
probably
good.
right.
Can you call Mod Ed and put him on speaker and ask him when the next penguin quest is?
Mod Ed, hello? Yeah, sorry, it's the camera people. They're asking when the next penguin quest is. Oh, you don't want me to tell them? Can we get them a spoiler? Oh, he dies? Oh.
What's up,
For
Devo?
those who wish to tackle things that are more like time trials, there's going to be the Barracuda trials, so there's going to be 3 of those staged at various points in the skill.
Okay.
Obviously, make sure to upgrade your boat well beforehand. You're not going to be doing so well in those trials if you're going very slow.
The last one I want to highlight is charting the seas. This is a one-off activity. You
Whoa!
go and you
Who's
interact
that?
with something in the world, note it down in your
Look at
little
the troll.
captain's log, and then once you chart enough in an area, you can then start to get benefits from that.
I'm excited.
One
I'm looking
benefit
forward to
could
this.
be, now there are rapids in this area that speed up my boat, or now I can get these drinks on my boat that like buff my crewmates.
It was very important to
Drinks
us
to
when
buff?
we were designing sailing that it
Get them
integrates with a
hammered?
lot of existing skills. Sailing that didn't integrate with anything would have just kind of felt like it was away from the game as its own separate thing. You've got integration with crafting, smithing, and construction just to get through boat building.
There's new
Okay,
fishing
so
methods, so
crafting, what was that? Crafting,
Crafting,
smithing, and construction. Which makes sense.
just to get through boat building.
there's new fishing methods. So we have lantern fishing, which gets you squid. There's the deep sea trolling training activity that trains both sailing and fishing.
My math
There's
is
a
about
new
92.
hunter method called crab hunting. There's new Slayer
planes have already
monsters, so
started going
there's
up.
the griffins. I'm really looking forward to fighting the griffin boss. There's the
Griffin boss?
aquanites, and
Aquanites?
the lava
Okay.
strike worms as well.
Oh, I'm assuming these are all Slayer monsters.
Can you explain the chicken and why he's a scrungle?
The griffin boss needed a pet, and we decided it needed a morph. And Art whipped up this amazing little chicken, and for some reason they called him Scrungly. And that kind of started this avalanche internally of like 20 new emotes
That's a
with
sick
different
pet.
versions of Scrungly. You have like a Scrungly with the coffee, you have a Scrungly with like sunglasses, that's just called Scrungly Deal With It. There's a lot of Scrunglies.
Strongly. Well, I want the Scrongly. I don't know if my stats are high enough
What can you
though.
tell us about the new items and resources that will be coming into the game?
As far as items and resources specifically, we wanted to focus on hardwoods for boats. That kind of makes sense. They're already tied to construction. But there are only 4 tiers and we wanted to have more tiers of boats. So we're going to be introducing camphor, ironwood, and rosewood as 3 new tiers above that. There's a lot of integration with some new ores as well. For that, we sort of looked into things that are a bit more anti-weathering, you know, things that are water resistant. So we're looking at things like lead and cupronickel.
Whoa,
that are
whoa. Some new ores, essentially. Lead and nickel.
kind of used in the mid to late game sailing stuff. On top of woodcutting
Wow.
and mining, which I think have had a lot of focus for shipbuilding, there is the sort of stuff on the side that is more to do with farming. So on the traditional side, we're revitalizing hops patches a lot with adding
Flax?
flax as something that obviously already exists in the game, players can get without farming, but we'll get to see that process of turning flax into linen, just sort of a bit more realized in
Whoa,
the game.
that means flax is about to go up in price because flax is valued at like 2 GP right now. It's about to go skyrocket.
We're going to be introducing hemp as well as a
You
step
know there's motherfuckers out there with like millions of flax.
up from that, and then eventually cotton.
Cotton?
These will all be used for sales. And then on top of all the hop stuff, there's also the coral farming stuff, which more or less I would consider it like a
Unfortunately,
super
that's a double.
herb
It's a
seed.
2x.
They'll take twice
It's
as long
about-
to grow,
it's
but
about
they'll
like
give you twice
12x
the
to
yield in
15x. I
return.
can already feel
And these
it.
will be used in new potions, so we'll get to see new unfinished potions made out of these. And some of those supplies are going to be gathered from
Bro,
other
new food, which means higher healing food, which is going to make PKing very interesting, which is honestly good. We've had everything else being updated on this game in terms of weapons, armor, never food. This is going to be really exciting to see how much this impacts PvP and more survivability.
sailing, such as with the new fish, and there's a bit more integration as well with existing potions.
Armadillo
Some of the new
Brew, I
supplies
know,
are
right?
Added to them. So Bell's Folly is a new sword item. It's a reward from the Griffin boss, the Shelbing.
Bell's Folly is the one that I'm going to be grinding immediately off for it. That's like the first thing I'm going to grind on a max pure. So I want to get a video with that as soon as possible.
Basically the stab equivalent of the zombie axe. It will require your sailing level to be trained, but you know, I like when our game has lots of different routes. So the Horn of Plenty is a new offhand hunter item that is obtained by killing griffins. It will provide a +2 invisible boost to your hunting skill and a +4 boost when charged. And while charged, it will passively sort of drain feathers while you're catching things. And it has an additional 1 in 10 chance to double the resource that you're gathering. Really interesting to see where players use this. Obviously it'll be good for hunter generally, but especially when you want to gather those expensive resources, kind of like red chins or maybe even the new rainbow crabs. See what players consider using it there. We've been thinking of a lot of skilling items and how we can introduce a few more of those from PVM. The Toxic Blowpipe has been a weapon that's obviously been old school for quite a while now, ever since Older released. So we kind of thought that obviously we like where the Toxic Blowpipe is, and we don't want to introduce new blowpipes that sort of supersede that. But the Camphor, Ironwood, and Rosewood blowpipes are a way for
different blowpipes, dude. What the hell? Camphor blowpipe, Ironwood blowpipe, and Rosewood blowpipe.
To introduce those to a lower sort of level where, you know, you can still get the benefit of using darts, and darts are already really strong in the game. The Rosewood blowpipe specifically has a special attack as well, which is kind of going to be like a baby.
That means darts are going up. That means I'm fucking in the money because I have so many darts from 99 fletching.
Dragon Knife special attack. It's not going to be as strong, but I'll be interested to see if that special attack gets used in certain places. For those who are considering getting one themselves, you'll probably want to have a look at lantern.
That's when you can use Addy darts or as much at that point. Well, I made a fuck ton of Addy darts.
Component to make the new blowpipes.
Combat and crew, okay.
Let's talk about combat. How does combat work in sailing?
Combat in sailing works by interacting with a cannon facility on the boat. So kind of similar to how you would lock into the helm of the boat to navigate. You also need to lock into the cannon to lock into sort of combat mode, if you will. So once you're locked in, you just click on
I wonder if you can shoot bows, like a ballista or some shit. Like, I mean, that would make sense. Like range, like that makes sense.
An NPC, and your character will try to fire the cannon
Cannon
at
versus
that
cannon
NPC.
PvP,
We
right?
kind of wanted to like create a very basic combat system
Or imagine fucking ice barraging a ship
before we start building on top of it. So if you think about the existing combat in game, when it launched, it was just click cow, wait until cow is dead. But looking at the combat sort of scenery today, you have
drive-by
crazy
Debo
bosses
go
with
crazy.
mechanics and focusing on prayers and movement and all that kind of stuff. I could see sailing moving into that territory over time, but we wanted to make sure that the base combat works fine. But regardless, we do have a variety of different creatures. So you start off just fighting like basic sharks or even like seabirds, like terns.
Oh,
you might fight
sharks.
those initially, maybe some mogres out at sea. And just like with the helm, you can assign a crewmate to the cannon and then they will try to fire for you.
Crewmates are almost integral to sailing, in all honesty. You don't get them at the start. I believe the level to unlock them is about
Thanks,
level 40, which
birds
gives
to
you
kill.
just
That's what I'm
enough
saying,
time to
bro.
get familiar with the boat itself, so that you can then direct them how to do it. Crewmates themselves can more or less do anything a player can do, and they satisfy that requirement where we've got all these cool facilities on a boat, but you just wouldn't be able to use them because you're too busy steering the boat. I'm quite excited for sailing to sort of feel like you start off on your weird little raft and building up and gathering that experience, and you'll move from an adventurer to newbie sailor to eventually a captain, and that's hopefully where crewmates will come in to fulfill that fantasy. And essentially it just gives the solo player the ability to interact with content in the same way that a group of players might. All in all, they're really exciting. They've got lots of different stats on them where, you know, some crewmates might be better at some facilities than others. And different crewmates also have different unlocks in order to be able to get them onto your crew. So I'm sure players will have fun exploring both sailing content and non-sailing content to see who they can convince to join their crew.
The sound of sailing.
Where is Sea Shanty 3?
Sea Shanty 3. It's locked up in a cupboard, not to be
What's
released.
the audio
ever.
designer guy?
Sailing's a really, really interesting one. It's not like a life or death boss encounter or like a raid. We want to make the sailing experience really chill, really nice, but also very epic and really feel like you're kind of embarking on a massive, massive adventure whilst in your boat. And we wanted to make sure that we've got music for each ocean.
Nice.
I need to
That's
count
good.
again, but I'm pretty sure we've got 18 plus tracks for this update.
Okay,
this initial
cool.
update anyway. And I really hope to do more in the future. In sailing, we've got loads of new creature NPCs. You've got the giant wasps, giant ants, krakens, rays, dolphins, all sorts, all of which have their own sound effects. Some are super cute, some are really icky and scary. But when you're battling and when you're training, maybe you hear a little bit of sound and think of me. For sailing, we've got a really exciting collaboration to announce. On the back of his Sea Shanty 2 performance at Tomorrowland, we've worked and collaborated with Alan Walker to produce music for the sailing launch.
Hi everyone, my name is Alan Walker. I'm a music producer and DJ. I've been working with music for 10, 12 years now. I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to travel the world and still work with music. After I played the Tomorrowland, I got really inspired and just had like,
this song is a banger, we just played it.
Sailing. Could I potentially pitch an idea to them to see what if they would actually allow or like be interested in collaborating with someone like me or anyone for the matter. So I just had this crazy idea, made a song, sent it in, tried to have some Easter eggs with the main lobby theme, and the team loved it. And they were positive, wanted to work with me. So far, we put together 3 songs, so it's the in-game song and 2 other versions of that song. But I'm still trying and experimenting to make more pieces that we might sooner or later, at a later instance, see in game 2.
Nice. Fuck yeah, we love Alan Walker. Release the Kraken.
What does it mean to you to finally see sailing go live?
I won't lie, I'm myself.
That's fair.
It's pretty terrifying. I'm feeling pretty confident, but I don't think you can ever play it.
He always wears a mask though. That's Alan Walker's like signature.
It's crazy that the project's almost over, that it's almost in the hands of players. We were talking about it with the team recently, and it's been 3 years since we started the new skill journey. And it's just crazy how far we've come in that time.
For me personally, I'm like terrified still, but I have a lot of confidence in the team and what they've delivered. There's been so much passion that's gone into this project that it's really hard for me to imagine a world where this doesn't just.
Bro, imagine there's gonna be a dupe and this crazy shit happens. I wouldn't doubt it from Jagex. I love Jagex, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Equal parts terror, joy, an immense amount of pride. I love working with this team. The way we've approached this, the way we've tackled this, the things we've overcome. The privilege of my career. I've said it already, but I'll say it again because I really mean that.
It means everything to me that sailing is about to go live and players are gonna experience it for the very first time. Sailing is as much yours as it is ours, and we cannot wait for you to set sail.
I'm always excited when the game tries to do something new and explore that sort of new level of content, and sailing really is that. It is absolutely going to be the biggest thing we've ever done in a skill format when skills are such a core identity to our game. I just think it's hard not to be excited at what that means.
Is that Debbie Ryan? Damn. Guys, 5 days. Less than 5, 4.5 days. I'm looking forward to it, man. Something fresh, something new. I get to grind something on my new series account for fun. I'm looking forward to it, man.